Regardless of what others might say about marketing and business, marketing involves a lot of psychology. We are making decisions all the time, every day, based on subconscious information that's being fed to us that we don't even realize is coming into our brains. So in this video, I am jumping through some really cool marketing psychology effects and how you can use them. That's really all there is to it. My name is Trent Kennelly. I'm a marketing strategist, and on this channel, I talk about all the things that you can do to improve your business through marketing, sales, and analytics. So if that sounds good to you and you're excited, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're into it, comment and let me know which one of these marketing psychology techniques really speaks to you. My favorite is probably cognitive dissonance. I will tell you all about that in a few minutes, but until then, let's get started. So let's jump right in with the focusing effect. So have you ever noticed when you're looking at a product online that you might see some general pictures of, like, let's say maybe a coat, we're looking at the front and the back, but then you'll start to see specific images or specific sets of features. So that coat I just talked about, you'll see images highlighting the detachable hood, the inside pocket, the quality of the fabric, something like that. The seller is picking these specific items to show you because there are parts of the jacket that are most likely to stand out as unique or interesting. And this is the focusing effect in action. Sellers know that visitors have a very limited attention span, so their aim is to draw attention to the things that are most likely to drive a sale. The result then is that the users, having had their attention focused on these positive traits of the product, are more likely to buy it, and they ignore any negative traits or anything that's not really that interesting. Now, there are two main ways to use the focusing effect. The first I basically dove into already. That's images that are focusing on those features. The other one is copy that highlights the benefits. So copywriting can really loom large when it comes to focusing. You can check out this video for a lot of copywriting tips, but the real point of focus here is to highlight benefits, especially if they're not in these huge paragraphs. You might see, like on Amazon, they have bullet points or lists of things that are benefits of the product. You really want to highlight things there that are going to be interesting to people so that they can focus on those things. All you have to really do is make bullet points that will highlight those important points and bring focus to them. The next psychological effect is the fresh start effect. So anything that's new is automatically exciting, and anything that's refreshing what people are already accustomed to, but making it new and different can have that same effect. It can have that same newness to it. So a good example here is that every year a new iPhone is released by Apple, and most of the time, if you're watching their developer conference, they're doing the best that they can to make it sound totally redesigned and like brand new, and throw away the other thing. It doesn't even matter, it's trash, get rid of it, because they know that people want something new and they want to start fresh with a new product that feels new, that looks new, that has all of those new features. It is a fresh start. A couple other good examples, back to school sales. So back to school sales are the definition of a fresh start. You're getting people to buy new clothes, new books, new pencils, etc., to have a fresh start at school this year and have a great start and be successful. Under new management is another great example, because what you're doing when you put up a sign that says under new management is you're trying to apply that the person who is going to come into the store and buy from you is going to have a better experience than they've had in the past under the old management. Implementation for the fresh start effect can be used for almost any product or service. Honestly, I would say anything. You just need to find the right angle. So if you sell coats, you probably want to wait till winter and say, hey, you need a new coat for winter. That's a fresh start. If you're a course creator, or honestly, if you're anything, if you're selling products, whatever it is, your New Year's is a great time to use the fresh start effect, because New Year's is for everybody a fresh start. You're saying, I'm going into the new year, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And so you can use the fresh start effect here to say, hey, get a jump on learning photography or getting advanced in your career or whatever it is. You can use this time to say, this is a new year, let's get a fresh start. Next is cognitive dissonance. So cognitive dissonance means that if our behaviors don't match our views, we're gonna change our views to match our behaviors. And that can even include views that we didn't have before we had that behavior. So just to understand a little bit better, how does this show up? One of the most common ways that cognitive dissonance appears is buyer's remorse. So buyer's remorse is that feeling of regret that you get after you make a big purchase. So for instance, when you buy a car, then 10 minutes later you're excited, but you're also like, should I have bought that car? I don't know. So let's say it's pants or it could be a car or some online course, whatever it is. In most of these situations, people can just go back, return the product, and life is good, right? Well, if the marketer has done their job, the buyer won't want to do that return. This is where addressing objections becomes very important. You want to give someone as many reasons as possible why a purchase is a good thing. And in turn, when they're having those feelings of buyer's remorse, there's going to be more justifications that are available to them, which is kind of like remorse armor. It just keeps them from doing that return, and it's going to more likely make sure that they keep that purchase. So next, let's talk about cognitive fluency. So cognitive fluency is just simplification. If you can take a complex topic and make it simple, you've achieved cognitive fluency. Because the truth is that people do not want to have to think about a decision. And the harder that something is to understand, the more they have to think about it and the less likely they are to make a purchase decision. The benefit of cognitive fluency is that it makes it easier for others to see what the offer is and why they want it without having to get into all that technical jargon and know-how before they make that decision. So for example, Tesla. So in the past, there have been car companies that have tried to sell electronic vehicles based on fuel economy or technical jargon, but the car doesn't look very good and maybe it doesn't work that well. And because there's all of that extra stuff that people have to think about, it's not very simple. Tesla just made it sexy. They made the car look really good. They showed you how you can save money with it, that it's incredibly easy to maintain, that it just looks good, and people are really interested in that. So if you want to use cognitive fluency, and you absolutely should, just make your offer as simple as possible. Think about who your target is, think about the level of complexity that they want before they're ready to make a decision, and cater to that level of complexity. Next, the country of origin effect. So we assign more value to products or services that are coming from specific countries or specific places that we assign value to. So for instance, we're willing to pay more for Italian dress shoes that are made in Italy versus some off-brand that was made in the US that looks like an Italian shoe. Same for eating Wagyu beef that comes from Japan. It has to come from Japan. So by highlighting the country that your products are coming from, you can inherently increase their value. Implementing this is pretty dependent on whether your products or services come with any kind of a country value, because not all do. But assuming that it does, like you've got those Italian shoes or that Wagyu beef that you're selling, you just need to make it really clear on your website and your ads that it comes from that coveted location, and you can increase the sales based on this effect. Next, let's talk about taking political stances. So consumers are far more likely to buy products from brands that stand for something that they believe in. So by way of example, Nike and Colin Kaepernick. Nike sales exploded after the ad that you're looking at on the screen right now with Colin Kaepernick in it, because Nike was supporting the call to end police violence. Did they lose some customers? Absolutely. One sports paraphernalia store owner named Stephen Martin reacted by never selling Nike products again and was shocked when his store went out of business mere months later. Now, that's not crazy because Nike is so dominant on the market, but he was blown away because he decided he didn't support what Nike supported, and so he was going to stop selling their products. Fine. But as with all things, there are rules to taking a political stance as a business. You can check out this video. It's about environmental marketing, but also really deeply about cause marketing, which is what we're talking about here. And here's the big point I want to make that I get into a lot more in that video. You can't just take a random position one time as a business and hope that that's going to boost your sales. You have to show consistent action over time. This is about believability. One-time stances will be met with disbelief or even disdain. You are much more likely to lose sales if you do a one-time campaign when it's popular than you are if you're going to be consistent over time about your message and what you stand for. Next is the speakeasy effect. So the rule goes like this. If it's easy to say, it's easy to remember. The harder something is to understand, the less likely someone will remember it, which means that they're less likely to buy anything from your company as a result. But even farther than that, simplicity instills trust. Studies have shown that the simpler something is, the less risk we associate with it. So making something easy to understand and easy to remember makes it more trustworthy. This is why most of the world's top brands have short names. Amazon, Apple, Facebook, those are all very short and easy to understand and remember. This rule applies to products and your company name. It's not just one or the other. You want to keep everything as simple as possible so that there's less risk in a consumer's mind and so that there's more trust in a consumer's mind as well. Now, the way to determine length isn't necessarily by letters, it's by syllables. You want to keep your names between 2 and 3 syllables as much as possible to just make it really easy for people to remember you. Next, let's talk about the endowment effect. So the endowment effect is when the value of a product increases after we have hold of it already. So for instance, by way of example, you all know Casper mattresses. They have that 100 night sleep on it trial, which means that you can try the product for 100 nights, and if you decide you don't like it, you can return it, no questions. They won't challenge you on it at all. And they can do that because the likelihood of somebody returning the product decreases with every day that they hold on to it. So if they've got that thing for 99 nights, there's almost no risk of them going to 100th night and then wanting to return it. Now I know that this one sounds kind of risky because you're sending product out in the world that sometimes you might even need to throw away after, but just consider that this effect works extremely well because of two things. One, by having the mattress in your house, you own it. Therefore, it means more to you than it did as something theoretical that you were considering buying. If you're looking at it online, it doesn't mean nearly as much to you as it does when you own it. Loss aversion also dictates that returning the mattress means that you would be losing out on something that you have, and nobody wants to miss out, so they're more likely to keep it. These are very, very strong psychological triggers that are going to keep people from returning it. Finally, I want to talk about guarantee. So guarantee is when you assure someone you're not going to screw them over, that you have a way to get them their money back if they want it. You'll have something on their website that says that they can have their money back in 30 days or 100 nights or whatever if they aren't satisfied. And this guarantee drastically increases conversion rates because it puts people at ease and it makes them feel like they're not going to get screwed over by you at the end. So you can see how this one and the endowment effect play really well together. The guarantee gets them to make that final purchase. Once they have it in their house, the endowment effect makes it feel like they don't want to lose it again. It's part of what's already in their house. They own it. So those two work really, really well together. Now, the two things that you need to do to institute this are first to have an actual return policy that people can actually read on your site. So some people are going to want more details than just the seal that I'm going to talk about in a minute. And you want those details to be clearly laid out so that there's no confusion. Then you need to put that guarantee at points on your website where people are feeling hesitation to actually take the next step. So good examples might be near the bottom of your sales page when people are reading it and they're still considering. You want to have that guarantee there so that people will go, okay, well, that's one more reason that I can buy it. It just adds to it a little bit. You also want to have it in the sidebar of your checkout page because that's going to help people feel more secure as well. When they're finally entering their credit card details, they're not going to feel like they're getting taken by you as a result of putting their credit card details in and buying something from you. So there you go. Those are some really cool psychological principles that you can implement. Most of them should be pretty easy to use, with a few a bit more difficult. So let me know which ones you're going to try and implement. Let me know which one really spoke to you. I would love to know. Like I said, my favorite is probably cognitive dissonance in this list. So please let me know which one is your favorite. I'd love to know how you're going to use it on your sales page as well. Otherwise, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to my channel if you're into it, and I will catch you in the next one.